Hello, the name is Daman Devsu. Welcome to my weekly show, My Top Tips. Every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST. I'm inching towards the century of these episodes. Every week, I pick up a topic of around resilience, business continuity management, risk management, crisis management, environment, sustainability, or anything that may be of concern to the society. Communication is very important in life during BAU, business as usual, but its importance increases multifolds, many folds during crises. And that's what the topic today is. Responsible communication during crises. A lot keeps happening around us daily, and a lot has been happening currently. Few years ago, the biggest in our lifetimes, perhaps, the COVID-19 pandemic started as a crisis, and then communication became a challenge. A lot will keep going around us, not necessarily helping us, maybe adding to our worries. And that's when I invented my Daman's thermometer for effective crisis communication. It's not an equipment, physical equipment, it's a concept. In past 10 days or so, I felt a need to revive this, to bring that concept once again to people around me, around us. That's why today's episode is dedicated to responsible communication in crises. To start with, a little discussion about what is responsible communication. What do we mean by it? The practice of sharing information ethically, accurately, and empathetically, considering the audience needs, the context, and the impact of what is being said or left unsaid. Each word is important. Ethically, accurately, and empathetically. Audience's needs, the context, and the impact of what is being said and what is not being said. In our communication, there is a lot that is explicit, visible, but there's a lot which is implicit, is left for interpretation, or people, our audience, interpret it. And that adds to the challenge. So, all this means not just what you say, but how, when, where, and to whom you say it. I've created my communication cycle, which says who communicates what, to whom, when, and how. That needs to be used during BAU as well as during crises. This also means being transparent, but also measured, avoiding panic, rumor, or misinformation. These again are important words. Panic, rumor, and misinformation must be avoided. This also means staying truthful without being insensitive. And this also means responsible communication also means tailoring your message to the right level of understanding within the same organization. Even if you bring this back to our families, which is an organization, within one family, the level of understanding of different people will be different. That will happen in the organization also. And we need to keep this in mind while we are drafting our messages and when we are communicating these messages, whether as a mail, message, or direct live delivery. But why should we think of communicating responsibly? Quick look at that also. I give 3 points that people seek clarity during crisis. Your words can either calm or fuel panic. So that becomes important. The intention is to calm, not to create panic or add to the panic that is already around us. And thirdly, you control your message even if not the situation. The situation, the crisis is not in my control, perhaps. We can think of COVID-19 pandemic also. We can think of a political situation around us today. May not be in my control, but what I say, what I write, what I communicate, what I forward, what I share is all within my control, and I must exercise that control as my power. We need to be responsible in all our ways. Today, our focus is during crises. The principles are valid during BAU also, business as usual, when there is no crisis. So, quick reminder of my thermometer. Any communication is to be treated cold if it's rumor based or appears to be rumor based, or if the tone is emotional, or if there is an urgency in that, and if the source has not been declared. This is a cold information on my thermometer and is to be rejected. But it is warm or warmer if the source is known, but it needs verification, or it still needs verification. Warmer is better than cold. Warmer is to be treated carefully. It needs to be taken to the next level, which is hot. Before we speak, before we share, before we forward, we must make the communication hot, which means it's official or is from a reliable source, confirmed source is known. The tone is calm, there is no urgency and there is no emotion, and it's useful and actionable. And on my thermometer, hot is good, cold is not good. This hot can now be shared if required. Not every hot needs to be spread, but can be consumed for sure. If it's good for me, I should. Quickly taking some examples also to apply this thermometer and check the temperature. One incident or crisis situation, 3 statements given to us. We will start from bottom and we'll go to top. Someone told me there is a big flood coming tonight. On the thermometer, it's cold, reject. The second one says, local news is showing high water levels in nearby areas. This is better than the first one. This has become warm or warmer, but this is also to be treated with care. The third one says IMD has issued a red alert of or for flooding in our district for the next 48 hours. Specific source known. This is hot. This can be consumed. This can be used. This can be shared if required. Even if it's hot, but if it doesn't help your recipient, your audience, there's no point in sharing that. Second situation, again, 3 statements. We'll start from the bottom. Heard from a friend's uncle that no one is going to work tomorrow. Cold, reject. Cold should be in cold bag, should be in the bin. Second one says people are talking about a transport strike tomorrow. Becomes little specific, warmer, to be treated with care, not to be consumed yet. The third one says the HR department, specific, source known, has officially announced a work from home day due to the transport strike. I will believe it now. And if I have been asked to work from home, then I must work from home. Next example from the bottom. I think there is something spreading again. Better stay home. I think that itself tells me that it is not to be believed, not to be used. There are increasing reports of flu cases around. Rather than saying something spreading again, I am or whoever has written this, bit specific. Increasing reports of flu cases. Warmer, to be treated carefully. But if you look at the top, the health ministry, confirmed reliable source, has confirmed an outbreak in our city. Advisories on precautions have been issued. Very clear. I am attaching do's and don'ts downloaded from the ministry's website. So even if I'm sharing something, an attachment, I am telling the source so that my recipients will be sure where has this come from. We need to control ourselves. We control our emotions during crises. You will be under pressure. It is understood, accepted. But we need to control our emotions. Take decisions practically. This is hot, can be consumed, actions to be taken as advised. And if you're sharing, download it from the ministry's website, the most reliable source. Please feel free to share. Next example, I heard in the cafeteria that our systems are down due to a ransomware attack. All this could be happening in all organizations. This is cold. Please delete it from your attention. Second one says, my friend in the HR department said, my friend specific, in HR department specific, so it is, a temperature is rising. Their systems were also down due to a cyber attack. What we see is from ransomware attack, it has become a cyber attack. So it's still to be doubted. Top says IT has confirmed. Source is known and it's confirmed news. Through an official message that critical systems are currently running on battery backup. See, the situation is totally different. The fact is totally different from where it started from. Ransomware attack to cyber attack to running on battery backup due to a mains power outage and the generator failed to start automatically. So hot, believe it. That's why some systems are down, only critical systems are up. It's not everything down. But if you would have believed my first sentence, it will be completely incorrect. Again, your emotions may be high. Here, emotions are controlled. Whether either you work on critical systems, so your critical system is up and running, or you know now that your system is down because of the reason given by IT department. Top, bottom, we will look at everyone's saying the company is firing hundreds of people next week. This may be a realistic situation. Everyone is saying, we don't know who is saying. The company is firing hundreds of people next week. Firing is emotional tone once again. So, chunk it, please. It's cold on my thermometer. But my friend in PMO told, my friend specific in PMO specific told me specific that restructuring, so this is restructuring, not firing. is happening in some departments. Very clear. Warmer, temperature has gone up, but we will go to the third one. Leadership has officially announced that a cost restructuring process will begin from next month, affecting some roles. This is not emotional, practical, hard. I will believe this. I will believe this. I'll consume this. Whether sharing, forwarding, spreading is next step, I need to think a little more. If it's of no use, if it creates panic, I should not. So you have the power, control. Please exercise that power. Next statement is from the bottom. My uncle in Bangkok says everyone is getting sick again in Singapore. While the source is confirmed, reliable, I don't mean to disrespect. Our family members, our respected members are reliable, but we all are human beings also, and we have a tendency to get carried away. This will be cold on the thermometer. I will not use it. Not yet. A friend working at airport, so bit better, told me they haven't reintroduced temperature checks due to rising cases. Again, it's not so specific. Temperature on my thermometer has gone up, but I'll wait for the third statement. The Singapore Ministry of Public Health very clear has confirmed a 5% week-on-week increase in COVID-19 cases. Even the type of disease is known now in this statement, and reintroduced mask mandates at airports. That's all that is happening. Not that everyone is getting sick, not that temperature checks have been introduced, but that mask is mandated once again. And also the reason known, temperature is very high. It's hot. I will follow the instructions if I am going to be in that country on that airport. The next one, from the bottom once again, I have seen a tweet that there was a blast in Paris, might be terrorism. It's cold according to me. I have seen a tweet. Source still not known in the tweet. A colleague in our French office texted, so being specific, temperature going up, that police had cordoned off a street near the Eiffel Tower due to an explosion. From blast to explosion. Blast generally tends to be in our minds bomb blast, while explosion may be some other type of explosion also. This is how we start thinking. So temperature is a bit high, warmer, but it's not hot yet. I need to wait for the next one. BBC reports a reliable source, confirmed source, a confirmed gas explosion. So it's not bomb. It's not a blast. It's a gas explosion in central Paris. French Interior Ministry has stated it is not terrorism. It is not terrorism related, but under investigation. Here is link to BBC report. I'm giving the link also. Now you should believe it because this is hot on the month's thermometer. Next example is from WhatsApp. A forwarded message says, the president was taken hostage in XYZ. It shows some news logo in the background. The news logo, there may be a tendency, oh, it is a real news. But it's a forwarded message on WhatsApp. Be sure about that. Cold to be forgotten. But in the second one, temperature has gone up. A journalist I follow on Twitter, who is based in XYZ, says there is heavy military presence and uncertainty. Journalist that I have been following earlier also. A journalist who is actually in XYZ, and then he or she says that there is heavy military presence and there is uncertainty. Even she doesn't know whether the president has been taken hostage. not to be believed yet, not to be acted upon that, even if the temperature has gone up, but it's not hot. It's not very high temperature. We need to take it to the next level. Writer confirms. Reuters confirms a military-led coup in XYZ. The government has been dissolved and airspace closed. Very clear, specific. Embassies are issuing safety advisories. One from our embassy is here, and I gave that advisory from our embassy in XYZ, for example. This is hot. Believe it. Take action according to the advisory now. Do not ignore advisory now. Next example from the bottom. I think banks are down. I'm saying I think it's not necessarily true. It's my perception. My ATM did not work, and my friend also could not transfer money. Now, my ATM may not work, that my card was damaged, or I entered incorrect PIN, or there was no money in my account. And my friend also could not transfer money from where? Doesn't mention from ATM, using ATM. So this is called to be joined. The second one says fact blog. So some blog which is known source and then a reliable or confirmed source reports multiple banks experiencing service disruption, possibly due to a cyber threat or cyber attack. This is warmer, but do not take an action yet. Go to the third one, please. The central bank, the most reliable source when it comes to banks, ATMs, financial services in any country. The central bank confirmed that multiple banks were engaged in an ITDR test. See how the situation has changed. All banks are down, or they may be cyber threats, but actually it is part of an ITDR test. And the services were halted for a short period. Only halted for a short period. Perhaps I attempted using my ATM card during that period. That's why it did not work. It wouldn't mean all banks were down or there were cyber attacks on banks. Participating banks had issued an advance notice to their customers. Perhaps I ignored that message. There's a possibility that I did not receive that message, but fact is the top one, which is hot, so to be believed. No big worry. After some time, my ATM will work again. My ATM card will work again, and I will be able to withdraw money again. Yes, there is some discomfort to me as a customer, but that ITDR test also is the bank's intention to be able to provide continued services to me. So I must understand this discomfort should be acceptable to me. Coming to the end of today's discussions towards a responsible communication, where I have presented my concept, Daman's thermometer, and I have been sharing, giving some examples very close to reality from families, from organizations across the globe. This one at the bottom, a Facebook message is going viral. Buildings are falling in Chile. Emotional buildings are falling in Chile. Please ignore this. But the second says another message on WhatsApp, which has been forwarded multiple times. Massive earthquake in Santiago. So buildings are falling. It is not specific. Earthquake is specific. Santiago is specific. But still, a WhatsApp message being forwarded many times, multiple times. Warmer, start thinking it's maybe a traffic light also. And this is amber, caution. But if you go to the next one, USGS, the department is known now, a reliable and confirmed source, confirms a 4.1 magnitude earthquake near Santiago. Chilean Disaster Management Agency said it did not expect a tsunami and had begun emergency response. Much better hot, consume this, but most of us perhaps will just take this as a news. we are not impacted. So no further action to be taken by us. If I forward this to my family members, to my friends, even to my colleague, it doesn't serve much purpose. So act responsibly, please. During BAU, during crises, more specifically. So giving some good practices for responsible communication. These could be used as posters. You can use these straight away or you can customize within your organization. Please feel free to use. First one I'm saying, in a crisis, clarity is courage. Share and believe facts, not claims. False words fuel real wars. Speak, digest, and spread only what is true. Your words can calm or combust. Choose wisely. In tense times, truth is not optional, it is oxygen. And the fifth one, retweets don't validate truth. Think before you share. Very important. In the past, when we started talking of environment, we started putting a line in our signatures, email signatures. Think before you print this mail. For communication, crisis communication, for responsible communication, think before you share in any media, through any media. I'm giving some text which you can once again use as posters in your organization. Truth is responsible. Hearsay is not. Truth has a source. Hearsay has speed. Don't forward untraceable information. Tone down the drama. Turn up the fact. Drama drowns facts. Calm tone increases credibility. Don't be the loudest voice, be the wisest. Pause before speaking. Think before you print. Think before you share. Pause before you speak. Silence can be power. We need to be participative, active in any meeting, but not necessarily that I have to speak just for the sake of speaking. So sometimes not speaking is a better option. One strong fact is better than 10 weak options. Anchor people with verified facts and apply the heat test. Before you forward it, heat test it. Cold, if the message is cold, the temperature is low on my thermometer, stop, please junk it. If the temperature is a bit high, warm, verify. If it's hot, it can be consumed, it can be shared, it can be forwarded. If there's an instruction for us in a hot communication, then we must follow that instruction also. It may be an advisory. So 3-point heat test. Is it official and traceable? You will ask these questions to yourselves. Number one is it official and traceable? Number two, will it help someone take wise action? So if it's of no use to me, please do not share with me, even if you know it's true. And third one, will I stand by it 24 hours later? So if not to anyone of these questions, if your answer is no to any one of these, pause, stop. Thermometer, being first is not the goal, being right is. This is how the thermometer helps us in responsible communication during crises. Run all messages through Daman's thermometer. Let us make responsible communication a movement. Closing here, today's discussion was about responsible communication during crises. If you have any questions about this or about resilience as a whole, please feel free to write to me and I'll be happy to respond. This is your host, Daman Devsood, logging off from my weekly show, My Top Tips, every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST. I look forward to seeing you all following Wednesdays also. Bye bye.